What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your third Java tutorial. This is Cody, and today we're going to be going over how to create a project and the infamous Hello World. So let's go ahead and open up Eclipse. If you haven't done so yet, go ahead and watch the tutorial before this and get that downloaded. So let's go ahead, open. You're going to get a workspace launcher. This is basically where you're going to save your projects. So go ahead and pick a folder anywhere you want to, or leave it as default. Go ahead and press OK, and Eclipse will load up here in about a second. Alright, so now we have Eclipse open. Let's go ahead and delete this real quick. So this is Eclipse. It's pretty plain looking when you don't have anything up and running. So let's begin by going File, New, Java Project, and we're going to name it Hello World. I'm going to name these projects pretty specific, so follow along if you want, but you don't have to name it exactly like I do, but it's a good habit to get into. So let's go ahead and press Finish. So now we got a Hello World project over here on the left in our Package Explorer. So once you see this, go ahead and press the arrow. Inside this, you're going to see a source folder and a JRE system library. That holds all the Java libraries in it. We can discuss these later down the road. But for now, once this project is created, let's go ahead and right-click the source folder. There's two ways of creating the project. You can, by going to New, you can create a class, or you can just create a file. In this tutorial series, I'm going to do a file, because when you do a class, it types everything in there for you, and I want to get you guys in the habit of typing things out yourself. So let's go ahead and click New File, and you're going to show where the source is going to be clicked, and it's going to ask for a file name. So this is where you got to be specific. We're going to do Hello World, but since it's just a file, make sure to put .java and go ahead and press Finish. If you don't make it a .java, it's not going to run the code for you. It's basically going to be a plain file with text in it. So here we are. We have a blank screen, nothing on it. I'm going to type some things that you're not going to understand at first, but we will explain them. I'm going to give a brief description of them in this tutorial, but further down the road, there's going to be a little more detail to all these little things. So let's go ahead and type our class. This is our class. Basically, this is what makes Java object-oriented, and you have to have a class into your main method. Basically, you have classes and you have methods, and we're going to be explaining this way down the road, but for now, just kind of follow along. And as you can see, I named the class Hello World. Basically, you want that first class to be the same name as your project. So let's go ahead and type public static void main, open parentheses and close parentheses, and type string, open close bracket, and then args. We'll discuss this a little more too down the road, but for now, this string args is basically, in your main function, you're taking a string of arguments, and it might sound super confusing right now, but we'll get to it, I promise. And for our program to output something to the console, you would type system period out period print ln, which stands for line, and then you will do open close parentheses, and Eclipse has an autofill, so sometimes things might get put in there. You're going to do open quote Hello World, close quote. And basically, if you look up right here, you'll see this run button. This is going to compile the code and run it to our console. Your setup might look a little different. I have my console over on the right side, and then I have outline. These two might be switched for you guys. So click that run button, and you're going to see Hello World. Congratulations, you just completed your first Java program, the infamous Hello World program. As you can see, this is the console. This is where the code gets compiled, and then it prints it out. So what we have here is, well, let's explain a little bit about these details. Let's explain what public means. If you're new to programming and you don't have any idea what this kind of stuff is. So what public is basically anything can access it. It's going to become more of a thing you'll use down the road when you have more classes and more methods. There's public, private, protected, etc. So we'll go through those later down. It's not super important right now. Same with classes. We'll explain that more down the road. Static means that you can run this method without creating an instance of main. Like I said, we'll go through that more down the road. Void means that this method doesn't return any values. So this can be anything to any variable that you would want. Void is not returning anything. And then you always have a main method. This is where your main code goes. You can have multiple classes, multiple methods, but you always have to have one main method. So always remember that. And let's go over this line right here that prints everything out on the console for us to get this awesome Hello World program going. So system is a predefined class. If you kind of hover over, it'll show you. But a quick explanation is a predefined class that Java provides, and it holds useful methods and variables for us. The out is, as you can see, Eclipse is really good with giving you information about things. Out is a static variable within system that represents the output of your program. Basically, std out. If you've done programming before, you know out is kind of C out, console out, std out, things like that. And print line is where it prints it to the console. There's also another way of doing this that I'll type out really quick. So go ahead, type system.out.print, and inside these parentheses, let's just type hello. Let's just type print. And then let's do another one, system.out.print. Oh, why is I need to fix that. World. Let's put a space there. And as you can see, it's on two separate lines. But if we were to press the run for the Hello World, you'll see that it prints out the exact same thing as this line right here. So basically what that's saying is print line and then return. So once this prints the statement out, it goes to the next line. Print, it stays on the same line. So if we were to make these both print lines, just like that, what do you think that's going to happen? Go ahead and think about it for a second. Pause the video if you need to. So let's go ahead and press run. And now you see it on different lines. I have a space there, so let's take that out. And you see Hello World. So put it on different lines. So that's the difference between print and print line. So that's pretty much it for the infamous Hello World. We'll get into data variables and more about primitives in the next tutorial. So what I'd like you guys to do, I wanted this to be a little more interactive. So go ahead, mess with the print line and print, and just make up a word program or do something, because practice makes perfect even with the simplest things. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks guys.